Right. Share. Right. Let's get that running. Hi, Kevin.
I had no idea one HMO could generate such strong income. Well, it helped me look at what I had, my time, finance.
I need to find a way of getting every every single time I open the live stream, it opens a separate YouTube screen as well. Don't know why. Right, let's get going. ATR on the FTSE. Well, let's just get rid of gold for the moment and get it out of the way. Let's get the edge up. Let's get running. Right, get that off the screen for the moment. Right, FTSE. Well, FTSE has been doing really well, hasn't it? Just off the all-time highs. And yeah, have I got that right? The right level in there, 9653. Yeah, wow. Right, okay. So, not a lot of news this morning with regard to economic announcements. We've had the GfK Consumer uh, Index from Euro, which is down. Just looking at ECB lending survey, housing price index this afternoon, consumer confidence. But the Fed's starting, it kicks off its 2-day meeting before announcing interest rate decisions. So everyone's waiting on interest rate decisions. Gold, wow, gold is now 10.5% down from its highs, 459 points as we speak now. So really off the highs, big style. China US trade tensions easing, and hopefully everything will be solidified into Thursday this week when China and Trump meet together. It looks like the 100% tariffs have been going to get dropped and reducing 20% off the existing tariffs and actually allowing software to go back into um, China. And the quid pro quo is China's agreeing to bail out the US farmers with the soybean glutton by the soybeans. Going to help Trump with Ukraine, allegedly, and the rare minerals blockade, let's call it, is going to get eased. But we'll actually see what happens there. We're at day 27 on the US government being closed. Kind of seems like a good thing, really, because all the markets are just going up on the yee-haw of tariff easing and China and America being good pals again. Quite interesting if you follow defence, which of course I do from my background. Turkey's sought to buy the Eurofighter above the F-35 Raptors, so it's quite interesting. Good for BAE Systems. Right. I want to have a look at cable going down, crude going down. It's not in the edge, but I want to look at that, and I've included US 500 back into the edge today as well. And you can see where we are with the FTSE. We're a closing gap all the way down here. The markets literally just took off. And yeah, so we have the closing gap here to actually have a crack at. And I'm quite interested here to have a drop trade. ATR is 11. Let's see how far we are away from here at the moment. Flipping accurate. So let's have a little think of 14 pips, 28 pips above here. I'm going to do a 14 and 14, guys. 14, 14. while I'm talking. I'm just going to put that in at the moment, 14 pip stop. And what we're going to do is let's see if the market can drop into this into the close at 53. So that'll do the job. So that's the actual short above camera breakout long. I'm going to put an alert into that while we look at other things this morning as well. That was my target today with the market bouncing off here for the Fibbo. Quickly draw that one in. So you can see we've got 78.6. It should be an easy target to go for. The idea was the market come down, close the gap, and into the daily pivot. The pivot boys would defend the gap, and we would be off, and our target would be a nice, easy target to hit a front run of the 78.6. It looks that easy. It's going to happen straight away. But let's have a look. DAX is the next thing on our slop sheet. And I put this in as an early doors trade. If we look on here, when did I put this in this morning? At just before 7 o'clock this morning to do the early early bird trade, if you will. And we're looking at closing that gap for around about 1.7% profit. Now, if you haven't already got into this, then we can have a little look at doing this. So what I'd like to see is this market coming up to the pivot. This was the early doors. We had a lovely run up, and it looks like it was going to close the gap instantly, but at 7 o'clock. But just above the pivot, we want to stop pivot 22, 23, 25 pips with a 20, we could say 25 and 25 on that one. 25 pip stop, 25 pip target. We're going to get that gap closed. And we're just going to have that just above that daily pivot, and we'll see what happens with that as well. We'll wait for the alarms to go off on the FTSE, and we'll watch this go in. The other things I'm looking at today, I'll pull the daily edge out in a minute. I'm still in Wall Street short. Did anyone do the look at Wall Street gap yesterday? I've just put a stop to entry on Wall Street at the moment. It took some money off, but I'm still heading to the gap on Wall Street. I've just looked now; it's still in play. Let's see what we can get. We've got 15 seconds to go, and we're looking for this market to just shoot up. I think I'll have to take Wall Street off, I think. Just take the money on it. So we're pushing up. Let's see what the market can zoom out a little bit and have a look at the territory on this. You can see the market is running a wee bit flat, actually. We're trading above the 1 hour and 4 hour 200 EMA, but from a price action point of view, it's right on the balance of whether this market's going to go negative first, down to camera breakout short to be able to buy the short range. Did I put it onto the edge here? No, I didn't put a range in this morning on that one. But the early doors trades, they either come off straight away or they don't, and this one hasn't. We want to be buying above the daily pivot today, or we want to be buying off CBOS. So this was the laws for the forecasting of the high target, but we do want to get this gap closed, and it would be nice if we can get the gap closed from down to CBOS level. That would be nice. The market can really come off. That would be good. Let's just have a look at see what's happened with the FTSE on the gap. We're triggered into the gap now on the FTSE. The market just shows how important knowing these levels are. Look at that, came straight up to the cam level. Camarilla breakout long, rejected instantly. Unfortunately, hit our target first, and it's come. It looks like it might be coming off. Big rejection pin there. So we're waiting for that to potentially do its thing. I'm just going to go quickly to the down. I left this trade on with 32 points to the good side. I'm going to take the profit, just take the money there. I was hoping it would drop on. I left it on overnight to drop down into the close. We do have an open closing gap on the Dow from yesterday. I'm just going to put that in now, and I'll be having a look at doing the gap trade later. 27, that's fine, that's a gap. So you can see the market's just leaving the gap. The interesting thing here, of course, is I'm going to copy this one and not configure, copy it. And here, can anyone remember what we call the daily high? If we have a close under the daily high and we are now trading above the daily high on the next day, can anyone remember what we call that? Everyone quiet in the room. No one wants to stick the head above the parapet.
Is are we trading an extreme gap?
Oh yeah, I was waiting for the old timer to go and tell us. I thought, bloody hell, yeah. Excuse my French. Yeah, absolutely spot on there. Yeah, where's one of the old timers? He knows exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, the X gap, extreme gap. Yeah, absolutely. So it's quite a high probability gap to get closed. Now that's probably going to get closed today. We'll have a look at the pivots on that just a little bit later on. But yeah, extreme gap. It's that's exactly what it is, and that will, I would have thought today, become quite a high probability trade. We've got an X gap and closing gap there, and as I draw these little boxes, this is kind of the box of interest today, and I'll do the pivots shortly on that. But yeah, in fact, let's just do the pivot now. I'll just do the pivots now. So anyone who's watching this from YouTube, and I'm going to Scooby-Doo what all this is about. These are daily pivots on cash markets. A lot of brokerages and charting packages give you 24-hour markets on indices. Indices are not 24-hour markets. They have a discrete open, discrete close. They are called cash markets. And cash markets do get quite a lot of imbalances. And that's really, I guess you'd say, if there's going to be a speciality in the room, that's our speciality. Trading all the indices, looking at the pivots, where the market bounces off them, where all the gaps are in the market. In other words, where all the holes are in the market that have not been actually traded. They've been traded out of cash hours. Maybe do a session on that and what all that means. But if you do not have or do not know where the major pivots are in the market, stop trading indices, because you really don't know what you're doing. You're flying blind. You don't know where the market is actually going to turn, where it's going to bounce, what are the magnets in the market where the market makers will drive the price. I'll stop going on about that. We'll go back to the FTSE on that one. I'm just going to put these pivots in now. So yesterday's was 47,326, 0.73, and 46,811.51. And today's highs are 47,564. 4, 2. The low is 27, 3, 7. Get this right, 5.96. Big markets. And then the actual close for today. Yesterday's close, I should say. The target for today, 544.59. By the way, guys, in the room, I'm going to be doing the US market open pivots live. So if you want to join me, then I'm going to be free, so I'm going to do that. So today we've got the close all the way up here. We've got CBOS here, camera breakout short. In other words, when the market breaks below CBOS, it's likely to carry on going in the same direction. So we want to watch these levels like a hawk today, especially from 130. If the market breaks below CBOS, then we're highly likely to come and do the X gap and the closing gap down here. So we'll put that there. Yesterday, US 500, we've got US 500 on the daily edge today, and we want the first target, we want the market to relax back like so, and we want to close that gap. The ATR on the S&P today is 11, so we want to be 11 pips away at least, would be ideal. So it still needs to come down. Now, the gaps I'm talking about, here's the daily edge. I'm not sure who's on YouTube, but everyone in the room gets this, plus about 40 odd other guys that trade this use this every single day to trade. Excuse me. It tells you all about risk sentiment, gives you links for further reading to substantiate what we're saying here. And it tells you what happened in the indices. What went up, what went down, what are the key pivots in the market, which you absolutely need to know, and what the average true range is for all the major indices. And this is impulsive moves, highlights, major highlights, and further reading overnight on things that have happened, significant economic events that are going to be happening today or starting to happen. The calendar for events happen today. Further reading if you want to look and trade on, all hyperlinked. And then recommendations for the day, what we're going to do. We're looking for what happened yesterday. Quite interesting yesterday. We did close the gap. Then we went for a nice one-to-one risk reward at 11.15. And I got greedy, went for a much higher target. We got a one-to-one, but then got stopped at entry, which is a pain in the ass. But hindsight's always a really, really good thing, and maybe you should have took the money on a one-to-one. That was alert triggered, so I'm going to have a look at what their alert is. Oh, heck, I got a lot of alerts, haven't we? So it looks like it's the DAX. Yeah, the DAX. So let's go and have a look at what's happened with the DAX. Right, that's coming down to what, so we don't need that anymore. And we're right down to CBOS. So CBOS, as you know, what's the CBOS trade, guys? Does anyone know what the CBOS trade is? And did they put it on? Nobody. Everyone's quiet. 34 and 34. We're going to do a rights trade right into CBOS now. Do the job. So this is what's known as a cam trade that we do systematically. So the cam trade is a buy here, which is off CBOS, and it's a one-to-one risk reward trade. And we're looking for a market function, market to bounce off a particular level. If the market comes down a little lower, I think I did put this in the edge. So what we're looking for is closing the gap trade. Actually, I didn't put it in there. I need to start putting my ranges in of where to actually buy. I've got it on my pad. I don't know why I didn't put that in. But anyway, if you're in the room, you know exactly what I'm talking about anyway. So, quite interesting actually. I got a note off YouTube yesterday saying my channel's been picked as one of the top 3 channels in the UK for live streaming. Quite interesting. I've got YouTube actually tracking and watching what we're doing streaming, so that's quite nice. And they're opening up an acceleration program for live. So I've got a meeting with YouTube in the next couple of days to understand what they mean about high-performing live channels. Probably because we actually do trade live and not just do films of hypothetical demo account trades. But yeah. Anyway, people that have found us have usually joined us anyway, so that's okay. Right, so, well, this get on. Right, okay, one thing I want to show people is I'll just open up while we're waiting. Can I open up the YouTube channel? If you're interested in the daily pivots, it's on the YouTube channel as well in the posts when it starts. If I look at HARKO Day Trading, there it is. HARKO Day Trading is me. If you look in posts, what I'm posting every morning is just a snippet. So this is a snippet, which is the front page of the Daily Edge, and you can see here there's a link to get the Daily Edge if you want the Daily Edge, and this is the snippet that tells you quick market sentiment and all the pivots every morning. So that gets published every single morning on the post section on YouTube. So if you're going to start using that information, a supportive comment or a thumbs up would be good on there. And if I get some support on that, I'll keep giving that information away as a front page snippet, and make it worthwhile doing if some people are actually going to use it. Otherwise, probably won't bother doing it because it's my time and effort if no one is using it. But we'll try it for a few days and see if people find it useful, really. Well, if you don't find it useful, you're not a trader of the indices, that's for sure. But Daily Edge, you can get this in the web. Get this in the. Well, we'll talk about gold in a minute. It's really pivoting at the moment, and we would need to have a look at it. So at the moment, today we've got buys on the FTSE, the DAX, US 500. Gold we need to have a little look at, and a short of USD Swiss is on the cards today. These are from over 100 different sources every day. I use an AGI tool to find all this information, crunch it all into a report, and then do the overlay for all the technicals to identify what we actually should be doing and why we're actually going to do it for the day. So if you haven't got the Daily Edge, get on my website and get hold of it. It's price of a cup of coffee a week. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Since we've been using it since April, it's only missed one day of identifying good trades. This is quite interesting. We'll watch this. See if this actually holds. This is a system trade that we do in the room. That's for guys that they're watching on YouTube. And every time it happens, we just take it. The probabilities are in excess of 75% win rate. but of course, I don't win all the time. However, that will not stop us trading this. If we do get stopped out on the daily low, we can take a bigger view, and the bigger view will be all the way to the close. And we'll look at, if we are stopped here, we'll be looking for what we call a rise trade somewhere in this band here, and we'll be looking to go into the close, and we'll use a 30% ATR stop. The 30% ATR stop today is 68 pips. So that's what we will be doing on that. Let's have a quick look at the other trades, what's going on. FTSE 7 points up and coming down, which is good. What else do we have here? We'll just keep an eye on this just for the moment, because if we get stopped, then we're going to do a 68 and 68. I'm just going to see how that looks like to go 68 and 68. It's a 30% ATR. What I'm looking for is the equidistant, which you can do this anywhere if you're not doing this particular trade, into the close. So we're kind of looking for markets to sort of be round into this. This would be a decent area here. What I'm looking for is a stop under this swing low. We're looking at a 30% ATR swing, and we're looking for well over a 1% risk reward. You could add this in now if you've not traded this before. If you're not in this trade before, we could put something as a cheeky trade at 24,202. Just in case it pops off down here again, and we can have that for a longer trade into the close, and look for a double bubble trade in that for 68 pips for what's that, 308? I'll call that 307. Little front run of the close. If we don't get this, then it doesn't matter, because we will take a break up anyway. If we do get it, then that would be right. So we have got that. So we're in the market now. Ideally we're looking for this to hold, because it's our system trade, and it's usually a pretty good trade. But if it doesn't hold, it doesn't hold, and we drop back to our rise trade with a 30% ATR stop, which is under the 2-day low and under this last spike down on Friday's first hour. So I'll just write these in. We've got a DAX second trade. Just get that out the way. What have I done here? This is it's all squished up a bit, isn't it? That's better. The second trade was posted at 24,201. We have a DAX trader in here anyway, haven't we? Kevin, you're a DAX trader. I don't know if you're still there. Are you trading the DAX? Kevin's one of our ex-traders down under. Good trader. Traded with us for quite a few years, and he does like the DAX. I'll just get rid of this painting by numbers. This is the bars. I should talk about these as well, actually. I can get rid of me all this right down the bottom so it's a bit cleaner. I'll get rid of it. I'll get rid of it completely. So we can see what's going on here and get it into the detail. So we don't know what's going to happen with the DAX yet. That it's just system trades. Excuse me, let's put an alert up here. And then we'll have an alert. We're under the 2-day low. We'll have an alert down there. And the market will be what the market's going to be, won't it? FTSE. We're coming down into the close now to close the gap. Stop to entry now, guys. You're 3/4 of the way there. Don't want to get stopped out. I want to do a bit of rupee collecting on this. Nine, 6, 6, 8. So don't forget, I lost the early doors gap. So that was just me trading. But we're down at the moment. Yeah, Kevin, yes, great stuff. What else? Do I need to run around anymore? So we've been stopped out on the DAX for the CAM trade. Bit unfortunate that. But we just play with the trades, we're in higher probability trades. The key here is you just play the statistics and you got to be completely unemotional about it all. If it sets up, you take the trade. If it fails, then it's really trading for you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just coming back to these CAM levels, you can see how the market came. People trade, the institutions and professional traders that have got a lot of leverage in the market that can move the market, indeed do use these levels. And you can see quite clearly here, the market came right up to camera breakout long and then was immediately sold off. This is the gap here. Now, the interesting thing about the FTSE gap, it does have a habit of front running. At the moment, we have got a really interesting area here, daily pivot and the close together. Now, what I mean by front run, so the actual close in number is 9653.8. In other words, that's where the market finished yesterday. If people are really, the problem we've got here, I'll tell you that, we've got the bleeding retail traders that don't know about gaps. So spot confluence here and then start buying into this when the market makers will be trying to drive this down to the actual gap itself. So we always have a wee bit of a battle into the close if the close isn't in an area of previous confluence. Another caveat on the gap close on the FTSE is if the market has come within 3 points and rejected the close, it will be considered as being closed. So we've got 1.9, so that'll be considered as being closed. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop into a micro level and see if we can manage this right into the close if we can. Otherwise, we're going to take our stop and we're going to move it down. So that's the key thing to watch out for, is trading under the 9 EMA. We would like this to come down to the close and really finish the market off. That would be great. But we have pivot boys that are going to be buying this. We're going to have a lot of retail traders. guess we are retail traders as well, but retail traders that are not educated in the indices, let's call it that, don't know about gaps, don't know about pivots, and I'll just blindly start buying into confluence, or as it really grinds me when you hear people talking about supply. No such bloody thing, but there we go. You can see here all the buys and sells, market indecision, all the way into this area here. Markets repeat themselves, so as markets come into, do you know what? I think I'm going to take the money. I'm just going to take the money. We've done a 1.9, we've come within 1.9 pips, so I'm just going to take the money because we do have, you know, we get a front run here. Right, okay, so I'm going to take that cash there. Let's go and have a look at what happened with the DAX. So because we've done a front run here, it more than likely will roll off. But because I'm trying to cover a few things at once this morning, I'm going to just take the rupees there and leave it. What we would like to see here, looking at the way the market is rolling, this is going to actually close the gap, but I want to make it a little bit interesting rather than just sat on this trading. So we took a bit of money on there. What did we say? 10 pips. So we took plus 0.71%, 0.75% on that. I really would prefer somewhere around here to be clicked in first and then take. So a 15-minute bar is probably going to take us way beyond camera breakout long. So a 5-minute fractal could be the order of the day here. So we're just going to have to wait for this to set up. We're already half an hour into the market. We have had an initial impulsive move and a front run into the market. So we'll have to wait and see. Right. Right. Let's go and have a look at that DAX and see what. I'll just put this down to 5 minutes. Nice Heikenashe flat tops there. I'm just going to put an alert up here because if this market does start breaking up, we want to go long. Target's already been hit, but I think it's going to get hit again today though. DAX. Look at that. We just got pipped. That's a bad expression, isn't it? So our stop was 24,185 and it came down to 24,182. So got stopped by the spread plus a wee bit. That's just the way it goes. We don't move our stops. You got to have that discipline. So this is a rise trade from the bandwidth that we talked about before. Get rid of that so you can clearly see the trade. And if you want to add, as soon as we get to that pivot point, the pivot boys will be in wanting to buy this because we're in a bull market, and that should quickly accelerate into there. So once we get up to here, you can put a stop to entry here, so you're taking risk off the table of a 0 risk, and then you could do a 1-to-1 risk reward straight into the close above the pivot, or you can do a 15-minute bar so long as the 15-minute bar is closing back in CBOS. It's got to be above CBOS. And then you can take a 15-minute bar into the close. And if you remember what I said yesterday, we were trading this yesterday, and I was going for a high target. We'll look at this at 11:15 for a risk reward. And rather than take the 1-to-1, I let it run. So I put stop to entry, of course. Once it goes 3/4 of the way there, you always do a stop to entry on the indices to make sure you become risk-free, or you take half off to ensure the whole trade. And I didn't take my 1-to-1 profit, and I ended up paying the price, making no money whatsoever on that particular trade. So I'll just show you that from 11 o'clock yesterday. Well, 11 o'clock yesterday, put it into 15-minute mode. There we go. There's 15-minute bars. Stops under here. 13, it went all the way up here. However, I was going for the 9690. So yesterday's target was all the way up here. As you can see, we would have quite easily got a nice 1-to-1 risk reward, even if you'd waited for the idyllic 15-minute bar, which would have been that bar. That's still an easy trade, but I let it run and let it run. And what happened? We got to what time did we get to? Get the market run up, and then I put a window. Where did I put a stop to entry? I can't remember where I put the stop to entry. When it got to a 1-to-1, then I put the stop to entry, and it just got stopped out. What a pain in the butt that was. So what it really should have done is take a 1-to-1 risk reward, and then had the opportunity to do another stop to entry trade, and then come out with 1%. But you know, hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? These are all things that you could have done. The key is you need to learn from them. So we do have that. Looks like we have that front run. We don't know if it's a front run just yet. The market does need to develop. And what I mean by that is it's not over until it... Where's my drawing palette gone? Oh, it's disappeared. It must have... Where is it? Annotation pen. There it is. Color. Vanishing pen, that'll do. So we've got an impulsive wave coming down here. This could be just the next small pullback before the market, starts to come off big style. We don't know. We don't know yet. We will know as soon as we see Ikenashi candle starting to trade above the 9 EMA. Then we know. We've got this candle, as you can see. This is here. It's just rubbish. It's all complete indecision. That's an indecision candle as well. Nothing to write home about. Nothing that you should be interested in trading at all. Pretty rubbish, really. So we're just waiting. The market's come down for the close. We've took some money, and now we're waiting for a reversal to get some more money to go back into our target up here, which it got hit straight away, early door, straight into the target here on the opening bell. And then we came down here, took the profit, and now we're looking for a 15-minute bar candle going up there. The DAX, we failed on the DAX initially, and now we're looking for a 15-minute bar candle. We're up 27 points, and we're looking for this. Bit annoying, really, getting knocked out by 2 points, but that's trading for you. That's real trading rather than made up videos. So what I'm going to do is put an alert just before the daily pivot. We should really get a 15-minute bar above the close, which would be really, really nice to be able to take and run into the front run of Camarilla breakout long. That would be good. I did say I'd go and have a look at gold. So let's just have a look where we're going to here. Yes, up 22 points on that. Gold. Let's zoom right out. The worry I've got today is if the market actually closes on a 30-minute candle under 3940, then we're definitely into the bearish territory. And we have got what we need is a close below 3940, which is here, and then a break of the bar. So this gold's now gone negative. If you look at the 4 hour, I'll just get rid of the frackers, turn the frackle off. Right, so this is a 4 hour 200 EMA, and that's at 93948. The key here was the bottom of the market holding. Now, we need to sit in our hands here because I'm not going to short gold. That's not going to happen just yet, because this might be a little flush out of everyone trying to buy the market. So I tried to buy the market down here as well, and on a futures contract, and we've just been pipped out. So I've got another rise trade at 4,000 on a futures contract, which is well away of where we are now anyway. But if we zoom right out and have a look at gold.
Alert triggered.
It's sad. Oh, flipping heck, as soon as we come away, the alert triggers goes off. Let's have a look at the alerts. Which one is it? It's cable. Right, okay, we were looking at cable yesterday, but cable was not playing ball and not coming down. It's now starting to come down. We had it in the daily edge yesterday, and I've kind of got cable. The high probability would be USD Swissy today, which is in the daily edge, but I had cable yesterday, carried on going up, and crude carried on going up. Those two we need to look at. Since we've been alerted, we should really go and have a look. Right, so very quickly, this is today's FX trade, and we are trading under the 4 hour 200 EMA, and we're trading under the 200 1 hour EMA as well. Bit scrappy action, and the target I'm after is 7,900. Oh, this previous swing lows here, but it's all very scrappy, so I'm just going to put an alert on that. I want something much better signal than that. We are. Let's get this further down here. I want to get something interesting. So cable. Ironic that, isn't it? It's just absolutely come down. So we had this yesterday with a target of 3,302, which is obviously going to hit now. We didn't get a target yesterday. We were waiting for the market to give us a 15-minute bar reversal, and it never gave us a 15-minute bar reversal. So I thought, well, this morning we'll leave that sleeping dog, and then the market comes crashing off. Again, great example of in hindsight, if we'd stayed with it, it would have been pretty good. But yeah, the market. We were looking yesterday at this market rejecting at this level here, and it just popped up and then comes straight down. That's a very powerful bar. I'm going to stay away from that one. Let's just have a look at crude. This is the other one that was really interesting. So this is my line in the sand that I need the mark. So I've got some puts on. I need the market to be under 6,050 tomorrow, and it looks like it's obliging. So that'll put the puts back into the money quite nicely. As far as trading is concerned, we have now broken the 200 4-hour EMA, and we are just about. That was the alerts going off here to tell me that we're now in under here official bear territory again. I would be interested to trade this if the market can stay around here and provide me with a bit of a retrace and a 15-minute bar coming down. Then I'd certainly trade that, and I'd be looking at $58 a barrel down into these levels. Just get rid of some of this previous. So if you're interested in the room trading that, guys, a good 15-minute bar break, or a 5-minute fractal, or a 15-minute fractal would be absolutely fine. 5,800 would be a target for today. Well, you want to front run that to 58.04. The reason saying 58.04 is because the spread's 3, and people will be taking the money, trying to push it and taking all the money at 58-ish. So we can just front run everyone else and just take the cash just a wee bit earlier to make sure we get it before everybody else. So it might reverse. So we've got here 5 minutes, 5-minute fractal there. What's the depth of that 5-minute fractal? 68, 71, 72 pips you'd want, and as a stop, an 170 odd target. That's easily achievable, and it is under the 1 hour and the 4-hour EMA. So I'm going to put that in at 670. I said, didn't I? 70. Let's double check that. This is a fractal gap here. There. 66 plus 3, 72, 71 would be 5, call that 72. I'm going to put a 72 pip stop on that. And we're going to take that break there. And we're going to run this for as long as we can get it today, coming down here. So we're going for over a 1 to 2. And just marking where that 1 to 1 might be is just here. I will put an alert down before the 1 to 1, because you might want to put stop to entry or add to that trade when making it risk-free. Right, let's go and have a look back. Yeah, USD Swiss. I forgot about going to USD Swiss. That's the one that's on the edge, isn't it? Flipping egg. Oh no, we're still, yeah, so we've already gone through that. Quick look at the DAX before we go back to gold. Hi Dave. I one touch you. Hi guys. So we're 34 points off. Market's starting to put in a bit of a base. Not quite the beautiful flat bottom bar. It's just got a little pimple at the bottom now, I think. Let's have a look at the, is that just a drawing problem? The low 22 point. I can actually low 22, 2229, 2224. Yeah, it's slight pimple, but that's just about the perfect 15-minute bar. It would be absolute screamer if it closed above the 9 EMA. Is Steve in the room? No, Steve's not in the room. So for the guys in the room, this is the perfect 415 reverse, 415 reversal. So long as the body is not smaller than the wick, then that's a 415 reversal, guys. A 15-minute bar, as per 15-minute bar guide, requires the market to close, not the wick, to close above the 9 EMA to take. A reminder that when the market gets up into these levels, we'll be doing a stop to entry and we'll be finishing the DAX off with a 25 and 25, I think it was, into the close. So we're kind of looking at recovery trade here because the initial one's lost, as you know. So we're looking for 105 pips with this particular stop. Would give us 1.54 and then another 1% into the close with a break above the pivot would give us a 2.5%, which would make life a lot happier today. We've made money on the FTSE coming down. We want to make money on the FTSE going up. Look at this now, it's just finishing off now into that close. So all the retail boys looks like the failed market functions working. The markets, we're coming down. All we're waiting for now is a reversal to get long. Quite happy to trade futures market on the US 500, but we need to be 11 pips away from the close to be able to do that. You could put an alert there, really. Could put an alert roughly down here. If we get a dip into the pivot area, then
alert triggered.
We could do a futures trade there. We've got another alert going off. Let's see what our alerts, which verified Germany. So we need to go and have a look. We've just come off DAX, haven't we? Can't imagine where I had that. That's I forgot where I had the oh, we do need a bit more momentum. So we're getting to 0.75% on the way up. And you could do quite well out of the DAX today. Zoom right out. And get this to have similar action. So you can see the patterns here. We've got a very similar pattern forming. And the market popped up into the close. And it'd be nice to pop into the close. Get 2.5% into the close. and then take a 5 or 3 minute fracker break up into Camarilla breakout long. So you could get from these two trades, that's 2.5%. And you can add another 1% between the close and the target of 24,384, which I think I did put that in. Dun, 24,387, 387, so yeah, 387, which is 100% Fibbo target. So markets move in impulsive waves, usually Fibonacci waves, and either Fibonacci and or ATR. Fibonacci will not work if the average true range doesn't, if the impulsive move, the ATR doesn't support it. But when we've got things like this, it certainly will. The ATR on the DAX today, 15% ATR is 34 pips. You can quite clearly see the impulsive move on a 15% ATR is easily done. 68 is the 30%, which we ideally would like to see. That's why I put a 68%, 68 points for a 30% ATR. We do expect that to happen. May as well stay on the DAX. I want to cover gold because there's some interesting points on gold. But let's see. This is starting to get a wiggle on now, isn't it? Got 6 minutes left. You can see here, there's a countdown marker here. 6 minutes left on that. We want to do a stop to entry now, guys. Make sure it's completely risk-free. And we do want to take a break up of the daily pivot for another 1% trade. So our risk profile at the moment is 0 because we've got a stop to entry. We could even bank in 34 pips and put our stop to 34 pips, and then we're going to take a direct break of this pivot here, and we'll move that to 34, making sure that we're locked in 0.5%. So if this fails, we make money. We do need that to push up. So we're completely risk-free, and the worst case scenario at the moment is we'll make 0.5% profit. Just going to put some alerts up here. Oh, we've got an alert, haven't we, just above the daily pivot, just to make sure we get alerted. Go back to that gold. Right. Just take the frackers off. So you can see where we are. I'll go out to the week. I'll show you what I've done in the week. So we've done a Fibonacci retrace level. We just popped below the 38.2% Fibbo. And why is that in twice? That must be a 50%. Hang on a second. Yes, it is. Which is not a Fibonacci. Which is not a Fibonacci, of course. No such thing as a 50% Fibonacci. It's a 50% retrace of the market. A lot of people do use that. So we've got to be cognizant of what others might be using. So really, when you're looking at the pattern, looks quite smooth using Fibbos, using Heikin Ashi. And it's nothing really to write home about this. We've got a really high test before the 440 BRN, big round number, where the market stopped. I did call and wanted a 4,000 pullback last week. It looked like it was going to come down, and it has come down. It's breached the 4,000 level. As far we are completely, the market is really overcooked, and has been really since May. We've got some big fibos there to look at. Dropping down into the daily, I really did want 39.40 to hold, but on the daily we're still really the market is very positive on the trend. From price action we are negative. We use a 9 EMA to determine whether the price action is positive or negative. And for the overall trend, we use a 200 EMA. Generally, it's day traders from 4 hours and below, because it's no good using 1 hour trend if you're going to be trading into the 15 minutes. It means absolutely nothing. Drop into 4 hour now, into the detail. So this is the area that we wanted to actually hold. We are now trading bearish. So I think I'm going to sit in my hands and wait. Did highlight this, put a little gold band around this on the daily pivot. Yeah. So yeah, yesterday buying the dips proved to be nigh impossible. While we were still trading above the 4 hour 200 EMA, then the market was still positive. Really would like to be trading above 4,000. But caution today. You can see here, if it closes below the 3940 on the 30-minute bar, which it has, then we're firmly in bear territory. If you're going to do any longs, then you need a 5-minute fracker, a 1 hour pullback, and it does need to be back over and into the trend. So it might well be a no trade day on gold. It's highly looking possible. Highly looking possible. I would be interested if the market comes all the way down. I would be interested in doing some January calls on gold for 440. Just have a look at see where those are priced at the moment. Calls, options, commodity, monthly, gold. Yeah, February 26 expires January 27, and I was looking for some 440s. 440s are 35 at the moment. For the guys in the room, where are you? If you're interested, I would be interested in some 440 calls. So I would put an order in for that, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're looking at the 440 calls for January, but they're too expensive. I'm kind of happy to get those for 30. So putting an order in, and we'd want those for 30. Good till cancelled end of the day. If the market can come down, then yeah, just we'll call that 8 o'clock tonight, 9 o'clock when the American market closes. Good till closed. If we can catch the gold on a nice pullback, we're looking for 440s into January, I think. Okay, and did I place that order? I don't think I did I? So I'm going to place that order. If we can get it for 30, then we can we'll be pretty good there. Oh, right. Forgot to say, if anyone on YouTube are interested in, this is not too typical, but we trade live 6 times a week, at least, in the trading room. If you're interested in being part of a live trading room, just that, then there's a monthly subscription on the website. You can have a little look at that and join us every single day. We have extra trades this week because it's EOD, EOM, I should say, end of month, where we get some expiries, which we can take advantage on, potentially on the FTSE, definitely on the Dow and on the DAX on Friday, last trading day of the week and of the month. So quite interesting there. If you want to become a part of a trading community and learn how to consistently trade and look at all our strategies and everything, and use our strategies and get my mentorship, then give me a shout, send me an email, and we can have a talk via Zoom, and I can show you what we do and how we do it, if that's of interest to you. If you're interested in making money quick, then don't bother contacting me. This is a professional trading room where we make money consistently at a reasonable pace. So you could do really, really well if you're willing to put the time in, and the time you need to put in is probably about 4 hours a week. If you can't find 4 hours a week, then it's not going to work really. Right. That's about as big a sales pitch as you'll get. And gold. Well, I'm going to put some alerts down. I might do some futures trades if we can get right into this confluence down here. And if the market pulls back up into here, I'll be interested again. While it's in no man's land, I'm no interested whatsoever. If you got the frackers, guys, I think Simon, you might have them. The short frackers might work quite well. No, they won't. The market's dead on its feet. Right. We're just drifting away. So gold is not much of an interest unless it comes down a lot further or starts to retrace back a little bit more. Let's have a look at the FTSE. Has that done anything yet? We're starting to build. Pretty indecisive. You can see here how these pivot boys have bought. Let's get into you can see how the markets come right to the close, right onto the pivot. Pivot boys have bought it up as they do. There is a very old school trade whereby you can buy the pivot every single day in a bull market. So the pivot's here and you put your stop under that swing low here, daily swing low, and you just trade it. And it's quite a long, lazy trade. And you put your money in on a bull market, you buy the pivot and you ride it to the close, take your money. And you can do that every day. So it looks like this is providing a base. If you want to trade this, there is a fractal structure here. Can show you. So there's a fractal structure there.
Alert triggered.
You could take a 5-minute fracker structure if you wish, and in fact, we'll do it now live to show you, and then you can so it's all recorded. Take a break of this fractal structure here, stops under that swing low 8, round that to 9, plus a spread 10, and then an extra one 11 to make sure we don't get whacked. And we'll do that 11 and 11. That's a 5-minute fracker rather than waiting for a 15-minute bar. It has put some structure up there, and we're just going to put that at 62.
Order rejected.
It won't let me. It's too close. Well, you hit it now. They are. So we're looking at a 1-to-1 risk reward on a 5-minute fracking structure, and you can see we've been slipped the market. As I was spotting this fractal structure, it looks like lots of other people spotted that fractal structure as well, and everyone's gone for it. There, that was the structure that I was looking at, not this fractal break, the second fractal break going up, and a 1-to-1 risk reward under this swing low here. So we've got our stops under this swing low, under the protection of the daily pivot, and we're looking for a 1-to-1 straight into well, just do a 1-to-1. You can target the high target's already been hit, as you can see. So there's another opportunity. The calls on gold are now at 34, come down from 36, which is good. So we'll just have so we're in there and making some rupees, which is nice. And then we'll look at the DAX. 70 points up, over 1% now, and the alert triggered was coming into the 2-day high here. So we might be able to get this trade off while we're still alive, which would be nice. So DAX is in the money, FTSE is in the money. FX, we're leaving alone with alerts at the moment, and we want to get this. We'll watch this and see how the pivot guys react. So what could easily happen here is, as the market comes into the pivot, then you will see people taking profit. Maybe if we were to learn from yesterday, that maybe we should take the profit and take extra trades. So we need 68 pips for the profit. Let's just actually, guys in the room, I'm going to take this 70 pips. So just over 1%. Well, just call it 1. Doesn't make any difference, really, does it? 1%. Then, so we've got 1% banked, and then we're looking at a break here. Let's put some frackers up as well. I'm just thinking back, and you got to remember these things and write these things down. Hindsight's always a good thing, but if you don't learn from it, it's not flipping good whatsoever. And if you look at what the trades yesterday, the market came up for a 1-to-1, went for a too high a target, and then the market reversed. And we didn't lose money, but we didn't make any. So let's just bank some cash. Right. Be quite interesting to see what happens. So we've got that's a 1-minute fractal structure. So for the DAX, we want either a 3 or a 5-minute fractal structure. There's a fractal there. So, but we're now looking for the market, the pivot boys to start piling in, and we'll look at the OBV9. So this is an indicator that I've developed myself, a bit of a forward-looking indicator on its unbalanced volume on a datum to show whether the market is on balance. More buyers are coming into the market, and we should be following that on the volume, or more sellers are coming to the market. We've got for the room, you can see there we've got a 926 cross, which is really, really good as well. And we're just waiting for this to do its thing, really. What's happening with crude? I've got one more. We've got till 6 o'clock tomorrow night, really, to try and extract as much profit as possible. This is obviously pulling back, ready for its next impulsive rundown. What's BTC doing at the moment? Yeah, I've just got a trade for a breakout on BTC. Did the Dow come down any further? No, it didn't. It's right on the close at the moment. But we'll be doing that this afternoon live. I better put it in the room so people know that we're going to do that. Gold's still plowing on down. I've got the gold bot switched on, guys, but they certainly aren't going to activate down in these levels because none of the conditions will be met. They won't come alive until a lot higher up. So I'm leaving those bots on. What we don't want to do is switch all the bots off. Maybe just keep one or two of them on, and be caught if we get a sharp reversal in the market. Some of the larger players start putting money into the market. You know, the bots can catch it when we're not there. Everyone's quiet in the live stream this morning. So we're just waiting for things to actually happen. So if you want to get the daily edge, then please do. Please go get the daily edge. Get yourself on the list. Get yourself informed. I personally think it's nuts that people who traded don't want to be informed of a guide that has only missed one day since April. But there we go. Interesting. You can never account for people and what they do, including myself. Just having a look at the post there. Just to read, might be some people on now that weren't on earlier. Just to show you that I've actually a rant about the pivots, saying you need the pivots. I am trialing putting some posts in every morning, just a front cover of the Daily Edge that gives you a bit of a heads up of market sentiment every single day, and whether you risk on, risk off, what happened overnight in the cash pivots, and the pivots themselves. So I'll just monitor how many people like it and are using it or commenting on it. And if I get a few likes and comments on that, in other words, if it's of value, then I'll keep doing it. Otherwise, I'll kick it to the curb on Friday. Right. Any questions of anybody?
No, good. Thanks, Steve.
No, cheers.
Okie dokie. Right. Well, I'm gonna. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? I'm waving at the wrong thing. There's a camera. Yeah. What's my style of trading? Making money. That's my style. I don't know what you call it as a style of trading. Using high probability strategies and being patient. That's the style, really. And this one, I think we've just got to be very patient on. So, a quick our finishing off was the DAX, wasn't it? Where are we in the DAX? Are we going to finish this at bugger off? That'd be nice to get another 1% on that, wouldn't it, today? And then above the close, you'll see a reaction on the close. And then you can take a 3 or 5 minute fracker all the way up and just keep trading that until the market tells you it's had enough. So there's a bit of money to be made in this today and on the FTSE as well, going long. Really don't need the FX to do anything today, really. If crude starts tumbling down, then I would get in the back of the crude slide. Other than that, I think you can make a few percent on the DAX and the FTSE today, and we'll keep a watching brief on gold. The US 500 for definite. But we're going to be live this afternoon anyway, and we'll trade the US 500 and the Dow gaps together anyway. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching, and see you. Yeah, obviously do the closing bell live as well on Friday. So if you can join us. Well, Kevin won't, although Kevin's a bit of a beast when it comes to trading. You're down under at the moment. Well, you're always down under Australia. Whether you'll be on for 250, 115, it's not 215, it's 115 because the time saving clock. So I think I might have put it in the trading room, guys. It will be 115 today, not 215, just for this week until America actually catches up. All right, guys, I'm going to go. We should glide into the close here for some more rupees, which would be nice. Once it gets to halfway up, then again, you can make the decision to put your stop to entry, make it risk-free, and just start collecting. Just keep collecting those pounds, and we should be okay. It looks like it might actually pop.
Looks like it's going to spike in now.
Doesn't it? Looks like it's going to pop in there. We'll do a stop to entry. We were pretty annoyed if we get a front run of the close again. It pops up and everyone takes a profit here, then runs back down. So yeah, may as well record what happened, hadn't we? It's going to be no issue. I think once this gap closes, and it's highly likely to close, a 3-minute fractal break above the close would be really, really good. And then into 24,387. If you don't have fractals, they're on the website. You can download the fractals for Pro Real Time and for Trading View. So you can use fractal trading is pretty awesome, really. It's very, very good. But don't take my word for it. Try it. It's very good. Quite a lot of videos on fractal trading. I will try and get my 9 EMA video out today. And I'll keep saying that, but mentoring keeps, all my traders keep getting in their way. Traders in my room are the most important, helping the guys in the room. Oh, I can't be bothered waiting for this, I don't think. It's completely risk-free. This should just pop up. But you can see here people are taking the profits, as I call them, the trigger fingers. When it gets to things like this, and I've got my tick, I have a completely different view than most people. I won't snatch at profits, which will not do that. The trade's a trade, and I would think probably 80% of everyone snatches money, and kind of don't need to, really. The issue we've got with doing a stop to entry is that sometimes you can get this impulsive retrace back that stops you out, and you could have made a wee bit of money. But you can see here into that clause, this here is, this is a great illustration of how people really do trade the pivot, really do trade into the close. It's it's so damn obvious. So we're traders, so all we're going to do is we're going to go back in again for that move. We're going to, there we are, we're back in again. It's a good move. This is an impulsive pullback, and we're trading above the pivot again, and we'll just go for that again. Again, you got to be totally emotionless. The trade's the trade, stops are the stops. You go in and you trade it. Stop snatching at profits, wait for the trades to come to you, and maybe you can then just do a little exercise as well to say, well, if I'd left stop to entry and not snatch me profits, whatever, if you have, would I have got stopped on here? Don't know. It's all learning, and you need to learn the personality of the markets. But anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. We're in again, ready for the DAX. That will pop the close, and then you can go further up for the day. So bye, guys. I will definitely go this time. And see you guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll be on at 1:15 on Friday. Okay, cheers, guys.
Cheers, Steve.
Thanks,
Bye.
Steve. Bye.
Bye.